My Gathan and Melonin, and well met indeed. I am Arachir Galajerthan, head of the modding team behind Divide and Conquer. Welcome back to Divide and Conquer as we continue on as the Orcs of Gundabad. I do hope you enjoyed episode number 1, and as promised, this one will also be roughly an hour, maybe just shy of, to be honest, because I'm getting rather hungry. So this was recorded shortly after the one I recorded on Saturday that went up on Saturday, so I haven't seen any of your comments. But I wanted to record them back to back because it was the only real way I was going to be able to get them to fit into the schedule. So and I'm very busy this weekend. So unfortunately, I haven't seen the comments. But I'm eager to see what you think of Gundabad thus far and whether you like them or dislike them. But I thoroughly enjoyed that previous episode, and I'm looking forward to continuing our assault on the forces of the Anduin. I've never really fought against the Vale of Anduin in really any campaigns, so I am looking forward to it. We built a building ground. Where was that? Here. Goodness, 750. Oh, it pays itself back almost immediately. Yes, please. Well, I say that in 6 turns, 5 turns.
No sleeping here.
Right. Ilkrul is heading out to lead the army now. Of course, we don't want to get our general killed. Oh, speaking of the...
I respect you.
Well, bugger.
Come on.
Run away!
Objective complete.
Oh, we've got a new family member. Who's popping out? The little children. Lunthakla, Warlord Gerzog. He's adopted a son, but... not a blood son, of course, not a blood son. Right, you are back in there. Oh, and we can get more units. Let's take
Get ready for fighting.
those
No
two.
sleeping here.
They should be able to link up with Ilkrul and join his army in Framsburg. What's our money? 4,000. Let's get some more snow orcs. Brugskibil is shortly about to have a garrison and extra
Get ready
troops.
for fighting. Come on.
Oh, that's as many... Oh, it's because, of course, we can't train them. Oh, so yeah, send those out. Try and get those involved. There's a free upkeep here. 3 before we get the slave pit. So we'll take another unit of them.
Objective
So our
complete.
Marauder Chief, our faction heir, continues to build towers. Now head back and build them
Get
there.
ready for fighting.
I think that's another end turn. There's our diplomat. Grishnak. It seems like a very common diplomat name, actually. A lot of diplomats called Grishnak.
Friends, let us hear your proposition. I do not think you. Goodbye.
Oh, I was selling my map information, wasn't I? And of course we're allied to them, so we've already got trade rights. Try and get trade rights with Laurie and see how they tighten up. See what the Anduin do in answer to our assault upon them. Now, in our test runs of the past few days, the Anduin have actually been incredibly powerful. They've been defeating... We even have a single case, or a case, of them defeating Dol Guldur, which is ridiculously rare. And they have not been weakened in this since this information has come to light. So they may well be quite powerful.
Yes.
However, the reason I believe that they are doing well in the other version is because the goblins no longer pay any attention to the Anduin, and so they only have to focus on Dol Guldur. And when they only have one enemy, they are able to deal with them very well.
Objective complete.
So that's certainly my theory.
Listen up. Attack.
No, we'll try and send our leader over, actually, because he's got a formidable bodyguard unit. So we can get a spy here, which is nice. And as I say, we can't actually... So this is one of the downsides of the Snow Orcs. Until you take Goblin Town, this one fortunately has a town guard built already, which is not normal for a village. But in every other village, until you take Goblin Town, you just simply will not be able to train troops. Because Snag are the only unit that you can get in the lower tier towns, like the villages. And of course, they're unavailable until you have captured Goblin Town. So we can't build anything in Rakibek. But Rakibek has a town guard already built, as you can see, which is made by the Gondorians, as I spoke about in the last one. But that's not common. Most villagers don't have town guards. And in fact, the town guard is only in there, I believe, to help the Anduin again. We were very concerned that the Gundabad would be too much for the Anduin, and they would completely wipe the floor with them. Where in truth that hasn't actually happened, which is a good thing, really. We want the Anduin to be a genuine threat, so anything that facilitates that is more than welcome. Do build a carpenter's hut now. Likewise, I'd like Gundabad definitely to get a carpenter's hut. Oh, don't do that. Those raiders are available really quickly.
Orcs!
Ah, they're coming. They're coming. Is that a river crossing? Yes, it is. That is an insane army.
No sleeping here!
Let's not beat around the bush. We're not going to beat that. So,
Listen up! No sleeping
we've got troops in Gundabad, though. And 3 more on the way.
Get ready for fighting! Come on! Orcs! Get ready for... No sleeping here!
Pull out.
Listen up!
Form up.
Get ready for fighting!
And we'll come back and smash them. That's all we've got. That's our only hope, really. Oh, and you've got those 240 of them.
Oh!
We can use, well, sit in them. That you won't get free upkeep there anyway. So yeah, sit in the village of Nord Mazog. And the turn. Oh, I didn't go through. Oh, and that's annoying because you would have got those troops then and there. They could have headed out on the journey. Bugger. Bugger. Of course, Gundabad, just to touch on the lore, for I quite like the lore. No, many would say that I ignore that. To touch on the lore, Gundabad is one of the chief cities of the Orcs of the Misty Mountains in the Third Age. And
At your service.
but the Snow Orcs are entirely made up. So all of the backstory that I gave you at the beginning about fighting in the First Age, surviving in the north, coming south, then joining in with the War of the Dwarves and Orcs, and then finally taking Gundabad shortly thereafter, that is all made up by me as an attempt to explain away why we suddenly have a faction of elite Orcs where before there was nothing really, they were just goblins of the Misty Mountains. And so that's the backstory I have come up with. So as I say, the premise very much is that these are orcs. We're going on the theory that orcs who don't fight in wars actually do live forever, given that they're twisted elves in, depending on which version of the elves creation myth you believe. And
Sleeping here! Come on! Orcs!
oh, if I should have moved you onto that bridge.
Objective complete! No sleeping here!
I can abandon 2 units and move the bulk of the army onto a bridge, or I can keep those 2 units and we fight in the field.
Regroup you! No sleeping here!
No, we'll go for that and we'll hope that they don't come for us. So we're going with the premise, as I say, that orcs live for a long time, i.e. forever, and that these orcs survived the downfall of the First Age and fled Beleriand to the north, the far north, lands that we know nothing about. Here they have resided under the cold and biting winds, the freezing conditions and winter temperature all the time. And they have honed their skills and strength and grown immensely powerful owing to fighting against nature non-stop. Then they finally returned to Middle-earth, and that is why they are better than their southern kin. Because whereas Isengard's Uruks are created almost in a lab, if you will, Snow Orcs have been bred through harsh living. Oh, we just don't have any captains for Gundabad. Right. That's very easily rectified, and I can actually do that so that it's in future versions. That's just a UI thing. Not a problem. Easy fix. Run away.
Pull back! We must pull back!
I should have
We
auto-resolved
have
first
completed
time.
an objective!
Oh, I should have gone into the battle and run away, as people often say.
Retreat!
Right, here we go. Bridge battle. We've lost a unit of archers, which would have otherwise been quite helpful, but we've got 3 archer units and quite a lot of javelins. And what a name, Wacho. He's got 4 archer units, 5 archer units. Otherwise, though, relatively early door stuff from them. And this is the army that they spawn with. A lot of these troops are the ones that get... the Anduin are given an extra army when you play as Gundabad. Because otherwise you could absolutely walk all over them. That was one of the first things we learned in the testing. Now, they presented no threat, so we had to give them some troops at the start of the game so that you actually have a challenge. Otherwise, there is no challenge. And Gundabad is unfortunately a very easy campaign. And so we are here fighting a lot of those units, which is why there's elites in amongst that number, and with longbowmen particularly. But we need to try and use the hills and valleys to our advantage. And by that I mean I think we're going to pull away completely from the bridge and fight up here where the road bends. So everybody just stand where you are for now and we'll move you when it gets going. So we've got, as we say, 3 archer units who might be able to go up there. Yes. Line yourselves up there. Don't run away. We have got... Can people go on that bit there? No, they can't. But they can get around there. But they won't. They'll come up the middle here. So, Pale Uruks. Spears, spears. Form a line. Oh, that's the gap that we're talking with. That we're dealing with. Alright. Form your line like there. Javelins, don't run away. And stand behind them. Ah, you can't. What about standing there? Yes, you can. You can go across there, and 26 of you can go there. If it's possible, pull the archers a little bit further down the hill. It's not possible. Right, you guys go up there. It's alright. You'll be plenty of room. Then we've got raiders. Stand there. 88 of you, stand there. Other raiders. Our 2 generals. Go back and more raiders. I'm just positioning them because we'll worry about where to move them in a second, really. Everybody in defensive mode for now, and we'll select who we don't want to be in defensive mode. Just so we're ready when the time comes. Oh, bugger, they have much better range than us. Oh, I pressed the wrong button and it's just sped up. Where are you going? Just stand where I tell you to. Just go there. It looks like we should just sacrifice a unit to their archers, I think, actually. Raider warband. Go and rush their archers. They don't like this map very much, do they? But that's alright. Go on, go on. Keep going. That didn't do out. But they are running their archers across the bridge. So they've stopped shooting us. And they're now wasting their archers. I mean, I'll take that any day. And we've sacrificed the Raider warband, but that's alright. That's keeping them pinned on the bridge while our archers fire into that massive units there. From their vantage point atop the hill, which is perfect. Oh, you guys really are doing my absolute nutting. Just stand where I'm telling you to. Now, javelins, come on. Nice. And again. Volley! Nice, 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 nice. Give it again, give it again. 35% of them have died. Fighting on this bridge, that's insane, isn't it? Charge them in. It's the same thing. No, that's really silly. Don't charge them in. Run back. Move people down into positions, though. I don't know where they're going. They had some units that were charging off to the left. Here they come. Curl around. Our archers are still firing, and there they are breaking around that side. I thought they were. Not fully, though. The bulk of the army's trying to make it up the middle.
Bloodied. They have lost half their men.
You should have no trouble against his Bjorning riders. They're cavalry. Let's get our general over here. Keep the Avengers out and only bring them in utmost end of need. There's a lot of archers still fighting against us. But this is definitely going to be a victory, I think. We've caught them on the bridge perfectly, and their forces are getting massacred. Pinning them, losing that Raider Warband unit though, seemed to have been the trick. Pinning them against the bridge so they couldn't do out has finished them off. Il Cruel has gotten into the foray there. Into the fray. Send units around the sides. We've got skin changes somewhere. Oh, there we are, they're routing. They don't like this battle map much, do they? Oh, there we are. I believe the AI is now fleeing. Brilliant. I don't have anything fast enough to chase them down. I should have built the wall pit before we went for the cheaper buildings in Rukskibil. But run, you cowards! So this is why the Anduin is never really going to be a challenge if you play as Gundabad. You outclass them significantly in the early game. Some of their late game units could do well against you, but they're not going to win against you. So the early game is very much Gundabad's glory time. Before the Anduin can get out units that might have at least a slight hope of stopping you. And of course as well, this battle map has helped greatly. Do note that there is absolutely nothing we can do about the roads. They are painted on and created by the game itself. So I mean, realistically here, of course, the road would curl to the left and it would slowly snake up this hill. It wouldn't just go straight up a cliff, and it's even more so on the other side. But the battle map works, and that's the key. As long as the units can actually cross the bridge, the AI will not wig out. And they did do exactly as I'd expect the AI to do. They just didn't like how I squeezed them in and massacred them. 510 kills, Snow Orc Scouts. 428 Black Shield Archers, 398 Snow Orc Scouts. So we've got well over 1,400 units. Or 1,300 units, sorry, being killed by archers alone. And we only had 3 units. Imagine how much we would have decimated them had we had all of our units. Oh dear. Those are the 2 trees of Valinor in the loading screen there. Laurelin and Telperion. One giving off essentially a moonlight and the other giving off a sunlight. And together they therefore light Aman. But they only light Aman, which is Valinor. They don't... At this time, Middle-earth was in complete darkness at the time of the trees. Only Valinor was lit by them. Well, it wasn't in complete darkness, it was lit by starlight. So it was kind of an eerie twilight across the land. Solid victory against Framsburg, against the forces of Framsburg, but now we need to take the castle and hold it for our own. We are, of course, orcs. We cannot upgrade castles to strongholds. We can only upgrade keeps to castles. Yes, please. Welcome. I want a gift. Right, what we will do, Warlord Gerzog, if Hazolv, if you go back... No, we'll take the archer one on. So you go back. You go and besiege there and be very much our Anduin side. And then what we'll do is we'll train some troops from our capital and Rukskibil. And we will besiege... And we'll head off for the dwarves. But unfortunately, that end turn is over, and straight away we're ending the turn again. It's fortunate that these are only about 20 seconds, because otherwise the beginning 20-odd turns would take years. But that is why we're sending our faction leader back, because the dwarves are coming, and we need to go and stop them. So, if Angmar was an enemy nation, then Gundabad would be one of the hardest factions to play as, but fortunately, because Angmar is allied to you, it isn't. I'm not sure that we've got enough time and enough. I mean, one more turn it's not going to be worth it, is it? No. So, you guys, the whole garrison except those 37 are coming. Because we can afford to take them all. They'll be retrained. And in 77 of you return to Rookskabil. All 3 of you come with us. We're heading east. You're heading back there. Framsburg will hold for 5 turns. Oh dear. And it's Gleowine! Gleowine! Oh, of course he doesn't have cavalry anymore. Gleowine, you are not a threat to me now. Oh, the Anduin are more concerned with rebels in the forts of their land than they are with the nation who is actually doing damage to them. Oh, we can't train anything here yet, can we? We've got a slave pit. No, that's fine, because we need that. Get that in early, and then we'll be able to recruit. Yes, please. Oh, you're finishing with your mines. Go with the leather tanner. Always nice to have armor upgrades. You're getting the carpenters. Oh, and Rookskabil's building the carpenters. Oh, brilliant. End the turn. And there's mines in Dane's Halls. The money's going to start racking up. Dane's Halls and Gundabad will bring you so much money that the 2 of them pretty much are all you need for most of the game. Once you've taken Erebor as well, money will no longer be a problem. Anduin is not very wealthy, however, so the provinces you take from the Vale won't help much. But the mountain provinces will help a lot. Ah, the dwarves thought better of it. Perfect. We will follow them, chase them, and crush them. Retrain those. They can't retrain. Anyone else retrain? Because all I'm going to do is end the turn again. End the turn! Sorry. It's in moments like this, for example, that I would then answer questions that had been raised, or queries, or concerns from the previous video. But of course, as I say, I haven't seen any of the questions, queries, or comments from the previous video, so I can't say.
Listen up.
But we're ready.
Come on.
Take some of these raiders with you.
Listen up.
Our entire army is basically made at the minute of raiders because they train so damned quickly. They are performing the perfect role of trash for us. It's brilliant. I'd really quite like roads in Rookskabil. I know it's a very small area that's actually going to get roads, and it only borders my regions, but being able to walk between the 2 in one turn would be perfect. But I suppose we should go for things that will give at least a little bit of money. And that one gives food production, but that'll do.
No sleeping here.
I don't want to attack Framsburg because I know how much of a garrison I gave it, I'm afraid. And my army is strong enough that they don't think they can attack me, so we are just going to siege that out for 3 turns. I'm not going to... Well, Khazad-dum and Merc would have ceasefired. I'm not going to waste troops fighting in Framsburg when I know what Framsburg has inside of it. A lot of highly skilled defenders. Framsburg is kind of like their unofficial second city. Or not unofficial, it is their second city. It's named after a gentleman called Fram, who slew a dragon called Scatha. Or a great worm, sorry, not a dragon, a great worm. And I believe he died to kill it. So they each killed each other. And his father then named a town, or built a town, and named it after him. Which is always very nice. I mean, if I were to die right now, for example, I can't see my dad naming a town after me. So it's good to know that that option's available for some, you know?
No sleeping here. Oh,
Into a Nazarov.
an objective.
Oh, look at this pathetic army they're sending. So you're not going to do it. You might as well turn back and go home, Bio. You're never going to take the town back once I've got it from you. And it's so easy to defend as well, courtesy of the bridge to its southern side, and the bridge to its northern side, and the third bridge to the west. Once we have Framsburg, we pretty much have the Vale. And hopefully as well, I imagine Dol Guldur is assisting Anduin, is assisting in the downfall, rather, of the Anduin. But I'm not against attacking my my kin. Witherboard. If we take Witherboard, we'll get troops. Witherboard is currently rebel-held still. And puts us much too close to shooting distance of Erebor. I'd rather take Nazarov. Which also puts us in border of Erebor, but at least then, if we took Witherboard, we've still got that threat of the northern path, and we don't want that. So we're being able to train really quite easily. I think what I will look into doing is slowing down the recruitment for the human, but keeping it the same for the AI. Yeah, because that's something that we can do quite easily. I mean, easily. It takes a long time, but it is easy, but it is boring. Copying and pasting is unfortunately 90% of modding, really. Carpenter's Guild House. Very nice. Oh, we should get the Warg Breeder. Chieftain's Hall Butchery, Shrine of Melkor. Argument to suggest we should get Ballisters as well. No, I'd be tempted with the Warg Breeder. Get some cavalry units. Take another unit of those, and they might rise up now because this is the last turn of Framsburg's defense. Ah, they're going to attack with one man. Why didn't you group those two together and attack? So we are forced to fight. So be it. Done here has only got woodman trackers. And Wakcho, Wachal, Wakur, whatever that name is, he's not got an army that we need to worry about. And Gleerwine, unfortunately, is actually arguably now not a very good general at all because he doesn't have skin changes. To the battlefield. Maedhros, son of Fëanor, mighty elf of the first age. Also one-handed. Oh, this isn't very good. We've got no hills at all. Not unless we retreat to that bit. I suppose we might as well. We've got a relatively large army coming for us. Coward's tactic, I know, but we'll do it nevertheless. They're coming in from over there. The army that's coming in from over there, I'm not bothered about at all. One unit of woodman trackers. You stay down the hill. You'll be going after them. And that army over there. So, form a line. I don't know if they'll come straight for us. But in any event, we'll be ready. Don't run away. Alright! You ready? Stand your ground. And you guys are moving off. I don't know what the AI is going to do. I mean, this is going to be anyone's guess. They are coming straight down the line for us. And unfortunately, this unit is archers. So what we'll do is we'll try and curl around behind them and force them into us. Because if we get too near to them, they run away because they'll be skirmishing. But if we can force them to run at us, we can shoot them then. Although we don't really want to waste arrows on these minor, pathetic band of trackers. Don't fire for now. Oh, you've all just turned on to fire. I want you off. There we are. Alright, you guys go there. General go there. And we'll get them. Go for it. And they escaped from the one place that did not have troops. Oh, for Christ's sake. We caught them, thank God for
The
that.
battle is very much in our favor. Victory will be ours.
No, I could see that coming as I was running in. I was thinking, there's a gap there, they're going to take it. And they didn't. Right. Thank you, everyone. Now we focus on the real threat, which is standing miles away and having a bit of a day. Turn her face.
We are the Dark Lord's hammer.
They are the Dark Lord's hammer.
Be ready.
And they are ready.
All right. You ready?
Here they come. What's this on the side? Cavalry, almost certainly. Oh no. Oh, they've only got one unit of cavalry and they're putting it at the back. Come on, friends, we're ready. Hey, you attack me, remember? I'll sit on this hill as long as you like. I think they're waiting until they're in position, yeah. Oh dear, sometimes the age of the game really does hinder its progress, don't you think? Welcome back. So they did start doing something. As soon as the army that was here originally left the field, then the others all kind of kicked into gear. And they've charged across the front of our line. Oh, the skin changes are going for the... Oh, they got downed by javelin fire. Yes! An excellent day. Oh, they've just been charged into there. That's not that great. Nice one, javelins. Galeowine needs to be brought down a peg.
The battle is very much
Shooting
in
them
our
over
favor.
there.
Victory will be ours.
Our line forms. Where's our general? I'm sure he has an ability. I don't know what it does, but... Who's that fleeing there? Galeowine again! Galeowine, you coward! The skin changes aren't doing... Well, they are doing well, but not Pale Orcs, Bogs champions are holding them back. Although it does say victory is certain, only a fool would lose. It worked. Can't believe that actually worked. Washo is dead, and we didn't lose too many Bogs before they went down. Oh, Galeowine's cut across our line over there, though. Ah, we have routing. We have routing. More routing, I expect. They're not going to like that many troops fighting against them. Get involved there. And Galeowine is all that stands between us and victory, I believe. Oh no, there's woodman trackers. Oh, I think they're out of arrows. End it! Yes! 502 of us paid, though. I mean, that's an awful lot. It was almost 1 for 1. Most kills came from Mountain Guard, our bodyguard unit. That's the Battle of 5 Armies, sorry. And evident by the wargs, orcs, elves, and dwarves. There aren't really any humans, though. Although this elf over here looks very Na'vi-like. It's got a very flat nose. Almost looks like a vampire, actually, from Skyrim or Oblivion. I like the dwarves' winged helmet, though. I think that's cool. Oh, we captured Gleowine. Oh. Yeah, go on. Thank you. Get a bit of extra money from sacking it. We can't upgrade it, as I've already said, so that's Framsburg forever now. Will always be a Northman town. Although we didn't get to see the battle map because we fought outside, but if they attack us, you will see the battle map. Which is unlikely because I will move the army onto the bridge, because as I say, it's the easiest way to defend the city. Two loads of... Oh, bugger, they are on their way. To El Alcaron. Right, who should we leave behind? Raiders normally.
Attack! We've destroyed the enemy!
Raiders who I'm sure we will shortly be asked to get a brawler's hall here. How much Melkor is it? Not very at all. Again, I'm very tempted to build the hut first because I'm hoping to hold on to Framsburg and Mazog, and so in preparation of that, I'd like to go. But then that's bad thinking and planning, really. Have we got a recruitment ability? Yes. Oh, the muster ground doesn't do anything for us. Get rid of that. Get some archers. Bridge battles are useful. It's nice having good archers. It is nice. It's weird. It's weird because we're orcs, but it's nice. You can train even more troops again.
No sleeping here! Get ready for fight! Oh! We have completed an objective!
You can just get troops like all the time. It's a very surreal feeling for me playing mostly as elite human or elven
no
nations.
Sleeping here!
Oh, the dwarves are blocking us. Alright, our first fight against a real enemy. Look at this. We outnumber them 2-1. There's 462 of them. 762 of them, sorry, and we have 1,800, so it's almost 3-1, and yet it's almost in their favour. That's ridiculous. It's almost half and half, is what I mean. It should be overwhelmingly in our favour. Oh, they've got some stonefoot spearmen. Axe throwers. Oh, axe throwers. Strong possibility I've not edited the axe throwers to work, and they are almost certainly going to crash the game. In fact, they are. So I shall save it. And I'll be back in just a moment. Welcome, then. As predicted, it was almost certainly going to crash my game. In fact, it was going to crash my game. However, I have now fixed it, and hopefully when those axe throwers throw their axes, we'll be all right. Now, again, we have attacked them, so we'll move everyone over here, and we'll try and walk up that hill to avoid the hill negatives that might get. Oh, brilliant, because then we're also facing them perfectly. Everybody over there. Don't run away. I'm really liking the combination of just really readily available cheap skirmishing javelin units that aren't crappy like Snaga. In fact, so far, playing it as we have been, I'm quite pleased that we aren't available, which Snaga are not available to us at the moment, because I've never really used the Raiders, and it's quite nice to actually see them in battle. The enemy is getting a bit of a jog on. And it looks like they're breaking for the hill as well. See if we can't beat them up there. I've missed a unit. I think it's the spearmen. No, that's just pulled them out of there. Ah, I don't know which one it is. Also, we're definitely not going to beat them to this hill. Who have we got? Throwers, labourers, super spearmen. Alright, pause then. You guys can still go up there, actually. Interesting. We've lost the hill, and they've got complete hill advantage on us now, actually. But we they don't have anything that can shoot us. So my plan here is to, in this weird stalemate we've got going, I'm just going to shoot them. They're doing something about it now. Run away. Javelins. There's Stonefoot Spearmen standing atop this hill. Throw things at them. We use those armor-piercing units to crush their armor-piercing units, which unfortunately those units are. Getting some. Here we go. Moment of truth.
The battle is very much in our favor. Victory will be ours.
What are they doing? Keep throwing javelins at them before we actually engage them, but
the enemy are badly bloodied. They have lost half their men.
and down they go, and away they go. And now we get the lovely steep hill to defend ourselves against the smaller other force. Oh, they've got Mattocks of the Iron Hills. We don't have any more ranged units. Oh no, we've got archers, haven't we? We've got archers. I want to be fighting on this slope here, but you can't really dictate where they hit you, can you? Right, everybody into positions. Hopefully they'll hide just before the last. There we are, get some shots off. It won't do too much, dwarves are so heavily armoured and they've all got shields. Creating some confusion, always nice. Getting more and more kills. Oh yeah, those warriors are going down. Or infantry as they're called now, sorry.
If we continue like this, we will smash the enemy. The enemy are badly bloodied.
The Matic warriors are fighting for their lives.
Captured the enemy's general.
And they're not going to be doing it well.
See us defeat the rest of his army.
Oh, the spearman's watching over him, and down he goes. Dwarves getting massacred left and right. Orc Avengers piling in from the left-hand side. He's using a Dwarven axe against a dwarf. Oh, how the dwarves rue the day they created such fine weapons. It is a slaughter. They really don't know what to do they? They're just going down. The last four stand in a line, defending the dwarven city of Nazarov. 3 go down in one go, and the small ginger fellow is all that's left. He takes a spear to the shoulder, and it's over. And this orc just sees him out. Ends the day. 76! Dwarves not all they're cracked up to be. No, I jest, of course. The dwarves are very powerful, and if that skirmish has taught us anything, is that we are going to have to be that cunning every time we fight them, or we're going to run into trouble. They withstood our archer fire more so than anyone else we fought thus far. So, we've got to be careful. That's Erebor, by the way, sorry. And that's Ruins of Dale out in front of it. That's an artist's depiction. Merci, my lord. No, you buggers. You're all a day by the sword here. And none of is in our sights. Claim the city. This is... Good lord, Gimli's the governor. Oh, Gimli, what have you done? What are you doing up here in the Withered Heath, you fool? You will only die here.
No sleeping here.
Dwarves of Erebor aren't very pleased with my transgressions against them, but we've got to be aggressive. And now, if we can get a third arm, I'd love to take Torfilin from the elves and show them what true orc might is. I am absolutely loving this raider unit. I cannot get enough of them. I'm very pleased with the raider. They've performed incredibly well. Exceptionally well, you might even say. We'll give it one final end turn, and then that will be where I end this. However long it is however long it is. I'm absolutely dying to eat some crumpets, as I purchased them this morning. And it's way past lunch here, and I haven't had breakfast yet. We're closing in on 3 o'clock, and I'm starving. So I'm going to end, so that I can enjoy my luncheon. Sorry, everyone. Yay, Framsburg's got a brawler's pit. More raiders, throw them into the fray. Or retrain the 2 that are already here, that also works. We'll just consolidate for a time. Oh bugger, the elves are coming. And they're actually meaning business, so you pull back into that one. And hold fire for a time, for a moment. Do I have another general I can use?
Listen up.
Ilkrul, we could take you back. But no, that's it really. You're too far away. Ilkrul, it's going to have to be you.
Come on.
Although
We have completed an objective.
it's useful to have
Get ready
archers.
for fighting. Orcs.
Oh, but we're building them there. Yeah, Ilkrul, get back to Nordmazog. Go and... Oh, it's a different general. It's Captain Idrenotar this time. Idrenotar. Nazarov can hold out for 9 turns. Christ. Anyway, that is going to be where I end this episode, except apologies for the cheating aspect of it, but I would like to see how the world fares. It always brings nice information. So we'll start with places we're not really bothered with. So, Angmar doing relatively well, but they have met the dwarves already at Garth Helagoth. Oskelon, Perthen Loon, Undertowers, Khazad-dum all remain rebel, and Barketta even. But then we are only 24 turns in. The goblins have taken Tir Thuin, but they are completely ignoring Keloniak. I did add a river crossing here, and I added an army right next to it, and they used to take it in turn 1. But then it was deemed... Then they would go west too much, and they'd cut Dunland out of the fray. But then having just a strong enemy surely is worth it in any event. Zagkala's doing very well, and Madras have not taken that. So all looking very normal in the rest of the world, to be honest. Dol Amroth crossing the river, but Mordor are starting to knock on the door. And indeed, they've taken Eastern Osgiliath. which is a shame. Elsewhere, no real war between Rune and Dorwinion yet, and Erebor and Rune actually not fighting. So we are about to face their wrath. I'm not going to look at the Anduin or anywhere around there. Save for that. Christ, Khazad-dum have taken a Rui. Interesting. And Akhlorion and Idraikan have both fallen to Lorien, so Dol Guldur aren't doing very well at all. And Rohan has taken Dantalad. Christ. Oh, but hang on. Isengard have pushed Rohan out of Rohan. Ah, dear, yes. Rohan, something has twigged. I don't know what it is. Oh, probably because we buffed Isengard's stats, didn't we? Of course. So where they were given free units at turn 1, they were now given free units that are even better than they were before. So I think we need to just reduce the size of the armies they get given at the start. Because they are much too powerful. So I'll have to write that down. Hummingbird has already written that down. I'm sure he's already made some changes, but I'll write that too. But anyway, for now, that will be all. So thank you very much for watching, if indeed you have. I do hope to bring you probably 2 Gundabad episodes for the coming few weeks. And then... So there'll be 1 Ardenheim, 1 overview, and a couple of Gundabad. Next week, there will hopefully be There will only be 4 videos this week, not 5, because that was just way too ambitious. Also, I'm on holiday in 2 weeks' time, so there will be, I'm afraid, an entire week gap, because I won't pre-record. I like to just have a holiday. But the week coming, next week, so the week beginning the 21st of October... there will be a top 10 video. I've already made the Excel spreadsheet in preparation, and now I've just got to do the actual in-game testing and then record the snippets. So I hope to do that tomorrow, actually, but it won't go up this week. It will go up next week. So anyway, for now, that will be all. So thank you very much for watching, if indeed you have, and until we speak again, cue the screen, Navarne den Pedamad Melonin, and farewell.